on the field, which I was very surprised that they overturned it simply because I didn't see enough to overturn it. And my understanding is it needs to be indisputable proof that it's not a catch to be overturned. But, I mean, I saw so many pictures and replays of it. There's one very distinctive one where you can see Dez Bryant's knee is on the ground. He has the ball in one hand above the field, so it's not down yet. And he's been tackled. So he is technically down by contact. Then I believe he made the football move to reach the end zone, fumbled the ball. It stayed in bounds. He recovered in the end zone. So by my understanding of football, that's either a down by contact and a fumble recovery in the end zone for a touchdown, or at least a catch at the one. But it goes back to, I believe, this same ref that made this call also made the call against Calvin Johnson like 3 or 4 years ago. And it's one of those rules that doesn't make sense to anybody. I mean, every single athlete and sportscaster was wondering why it was even being reviewed. And it's just one of those things that's baffling, and we may never understand it.
You know, it's so refreshing to hear the opposite viewpoint of this catch. Because Keith, are you even there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm biding my time because my struggle with you, Jim, is that I say
Ben,
things.
you need to understand this. This has been for weeks now.
I say things three different ways. The same thing 3 different ways, and Jim still argues with me. And we're both listen. We're both saying the same thing. I agree with what Ben just said. What you see Dez do should have been considered a catch, because we look at it. He caught the ball. He goes down. The wonks up in NFL headquarters that came up with this rule that you have to demonstrate control of the football through the whole process, meaning even including technically after you would be down, that is a dumb rule that needs to change.
Absolutely.
And that's been my point, is that the rule was officiated correctly. It's just a stupid-ass rule.
100% agree. And, you know, Dez even said after the game, he was like, I don't want anyone to come to me 3 or 4 days down the line saying, we got it wrong, that was a catch. I don't want to hear that. That's what's really going to crush me. Just change the rule. Right. So, like, he wasn't even upset that it was ruled not a catch. He was just upset with the rule.
It's bad. It's terrible. I can't believe they didn't change it after Calvin Johnson. I really don't.
Exactly.
Well, but, you know, I definitely don't think that the Calvin Johnson non-catch is the same thing as the Dez Bryant catch. Because Calvin Johnson clearly, as he's going down, he lifts the ball up. He has it in one hand, and he actually snaps the ball out of his hand. And he's still sort of in the process of going down, where you have Dez Bryant actually down on the ground.
Yeah, has the knee down.
And in my opinion, and Keith, I know you had the photograph that supposedly shows the ball making contact with the ground, but I'm still not sure that it did in fact make contact with the ground, in which case that's not indisputable evidence.
Well,
exactly. And you have to have clear proof that it's to overturn it, so I don't get it.
But the ball came loose before the process was over, according to the rule.
And then he caught it.
See, here we go. This is going to turn into another 20-minute debate.
Yeah,
I know. You know, and I understand that, but to me, it was closer to being a catch than being a non-catch, which makes it a catch.
Right.
Anyway, you know, Ben, we could beat this down, but I'm glad we finally got Keith to say something because I was worried he was falling asleep. Or sitting in the back room smoking a butt.
No.
Shouldn't be doing it.
No.
Anyway, so, you know, here we are. Cowboys season, it's over. Everybody's sitting back, watching a little football. Got the Super Bowl in a couple weeks, and yet for the Cowboys, a lot's going on. Let me ask you this right now. I want your honest opinion. The team has 2 huge, big free agents out there. We got DeMarco Murray, rushing leader this season, as you mentioned, about 500 touches. Clearly, he's got something left in the tank, at least hopefully, for another season or two. And then you've got Dez Bryant, one of the top wide receivers in the league. He's also a free agent. If you could only sign one, who would you sign and why?
That's honestly the toughest question. That's tougher than the catch because both of these players, they bring something that's so crucial to the team. It's so hard to pick one of them. I mean, you look back at the triplets of the 90s, and all three of them brought such a unique piece, then that's what made them so successful. Murray's got the leadership, the intangibles, the toughness, and Dez is just a straight-up freak athlete. He's a master of his craft. He's always improving. I think Dez has a higher ceiling going forward. He has more years left in him. He's getting better every year, and he's just got that emotion. I feel like Dez is the true heart of the offense. But it's Jerry Jones said all year, DeMarco Murray, anyone would be the same behind this offensive line. And I think that wasn't as much a cut against DeMarco Murray. It was more of a precursor to, we can't sign both of them. Now, I think they can sign both, but if I had to choose one, I've got to say Dez. Because just DeMarco Murray's probably got 2 solid years left in him, 4 good years. I mean, he's only 26. He's going to turn 27 soon. So he's got a while before he hits that 30 cliff. But, I mean, like I said, he had 500 carries this year, and that takes a toll. So it'll be interesting to see how well he produces next year. I don't think he'll have the 1,800 yards again, but he could have somewhere in the 1,100 if he has the offensive line. Now, Dez, he gives a lot more to this offense. I mean, he is a great route runner, and there's probably not many people that can catch a ball and run with it better than he can. I mean, people trying to get him down is one of the harder things in the NFL. And like I said, he's got more years left on him. So I definitely think I would choose Dez just because the time. But if I was a betting man, I'd say they try to sign Murray to a deal, tag Dez, which makes Dez obviously unhappy, but then somehow restructure Tony Romo's contract to also get a deal with Dez done. But to answer your question, I would pick Dez if I had to pick one of them.
You are listening to Late Night Sports Radio on the FantasyGreek.com's NFL Football Power Hour. I'm here joined by Ben Franklin, FantasyGreek.com's Dallas Cowboys writer, contributor, reporter, cover guy, whatever you want to call him. Ben, that was really tremendous. I guess I would want to close out with one last question, and it would be this. Do you think Jerry Jones should keep doing what he's doing, or do you think he needs to sort of take a step back and let some of the coaches and maybe his general manager do a little bit more of the football stuff than he does?
That's a great question because, I mean, Jerry Jones just did win Executive of the Year, and I think he did that because he stepped back some. You saw back in the past decade, really, he's tried to be the head coach as well. I mean, other than Parcells, he's kind of been the voice of the coaches. He doesn't really let them have a say in things. But Jason Garrett, he trusts him now, and Garrett's proved this year that he can do it against Jerry Jones. And the fact that Jerry didn't pick Johnny Manziel in the draft and they went for Zach Martin really says a lot. And I think even Jerry has kind of realized, I need to take a little bit of a step back in order for this team to succeed. And I definitely think that he is a big factor this year because of his absences.
And there we are, ladies and gentlemen. Ben Franklin, cover guy for the FantasyGreek.com of the Dallas Cowboys. Ben, thank you so much for being here. It was really great, and it was very insightful to have you here. Ladies and gents, we'll be back in 5 minutes. Take a quick break right now.
Thank you very much. That was fun.
Down next to mine, you're so fine, baby, you're too fine. he goes to bed. Remember what we said. We gonna do this right. Right. This is how it's always supposed to be. I need you endlessly. We gonna go all night. Tumble to the ground underneath the stars, underneath the stars. Ooh, yeah. Come out of the house. Yeah, come out of the house. Ooh.
Who the hell can wait till morning? Talk now at latenightsportsradio.com.
And there you have it, folks. The Fantasy Greeks NFL Power Hour. Wow. I don't know about you, but I'm exhausted. Keith, how you feeling?
It was fantastic. A lot of good talk. I was, I didn't want to, jump in and kind of hijack the interview by any stretch of the imagination. We were talking about the Green Bay Packers with Jim in the first segment, and I was looking at their, offense and defensive rating and everything like that. And Jim was right on it. They really need to figure out the inside of their defense, the interior of their defense going forward. Offense, you got Aaron Rodgers, but if you look at, and I love Pro Football Focus's ratings and everything, but their highest rated D lineman in run defense was Mike Daniels, who played anywhere from 50 to 65% of the snaps per game. Their highest rated run defenders were DBs. Morgan Burnett was their highest rated run defender. And a name like Clay Matthews was their fourth worst. A.J. Hawk was their worst. So they got some major question marks to answer.
Well, and I really enjoyed it because exactly what I said, which is when we talk about the Green Bay Packers, everybody wants to